Welcome back, guys, to the Tailgate Talk Show. I'm Hunter.
No countdown is crazy, bro.
For real.
Welcome back to the Tailgate Talk Show. I am Hunter, joined by Quinyon and Tony. Today
Howdy.
we got for you guys a mock draft, 101 of the year, and we are going to go for every third. So I got one, Tony's got one, Quinon's got one. We're going to go down the list. This is no trades. So let's jump right into it.
First round
I'm
only,
gonna start
baby.
us off. I have the Bears taking J.J. McCarthy. No, I'm joking. Obviously, Caleb Williams. Obviously, Caleb Williams, quarterback from USC. I mean, I don't think it gets any more obvious than that.
Yeah, was there ever a question that Caleb Williams was going first? I mean, with his painted nails and his pink phone.
I think Bo Nix actually goes first. I'm not going to lie. Dark horse.
And that's where you're wrong.
Super senior.
But I mean, he's a stud out of USC. I mean, single-handedly carried that offense. If their defense wasn't so garbage, they might have won a few more games. But I think he's the obvious pick for number one. And that pick's actually via Carolina. R.I.P. Bryce Young lovers out there. Could have had Caleb, but
Could have had Caleb. But
not this year.
Try to make a dumbass trade.
The worst trade in recent memory.
Yeah, I have to agree.
All right, so moving on to the second pick, we got the Washington Commanders.
So we got Jayden Daniels. I mean, this one's a toss-up between him and Drake Maye, but I think Jayden Daniels is the better fit here for the Commanders. They're looking for a mobile quarterback. He's definitely got the legs to do it. Out of LSU, he's got a lot of weapons around him, and the Commanders just had a pretty good free agency, so he's got some weapons to work with in Washington, and I think he'll fit good. Webcam doesn't want to focus, but hey, that's all right. We're move through it anyway.
Now, is this possibly when Scary Terry actually becomes Scary Terry? Possibly.
I think so.
I could easily see that happen with Jayden Daniels going to the Commanders.
I think Jayden Daniels is a perfect fit, though. I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the third pick, I got Drake Maye going to New England Patriots. Now, I think easily this could be reversed. Jayden Daniels and Drake Maye are like 201, 202.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interchangeable. But Patriots end up landing Drake Maye. Their guy to hopefully be the successor of Tom Brady, which Mac Jones failed to do the last years. So they got him.
Was a bust.
Mac attack.
Now, Drake Maye is a phenomenal prospect, can put it on the dime, and don't underestimate his legs. He can run too. His big question, obviously, is competition. The teams he's faced, the defenses he's been up against in the ACC. Questionable, but from the traits he puts on the field, on the tape, looks great. And New England hopefully gets their quarterback of the future.
Yeah, for sure. Top 3 pick. I like Drake Maye a lot.
I do too. Fourth overall, I have the Cardinals taking Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, yet again, I feel like that's just another pretty obvious one. First wide receiver off the board, the best in the draft. But also don't sleep on Malik. Malik would be the wide receiver one in a lot of drafts, but yeah, Cardinals take Marvy, I think.
Yeah,
Who was the scriptwriter for this?
That's a
Because who gave you the easiest picks?
Yeah, no, for real.
I think it was me, actually.
Marvin's going to be a stud. He was a stud in Ohio State, surrounded by a lot of talent. But he'll be a stud. But speaking of Malik, we got him going to the Chargers with the 5th pick, wide receiver out of LSU. Another star-studded wide receiver room. Him and Brian Thomas made a great pair for Jayden Daniels down in LSU. But the Chargers, they don't have Keenan Allen anymore. Mike Williams is gone now. They need the help. And there's debates whether Brock Bowers goes, but I think a wide receiver would be the smarter pick here to get some easy talent. I think Malik
100%.
would fit the bill there for the Chargers. But again, that it's a toss up. They could go Bowers here, but I think it's a better choice to go Malik here. I think he's just a phenomenal player, and I think a wide receiver is the better pick in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So with the 6th overall pick, the New York Giants, I got the 3rd wide receiver in a row taken off the board in Rome Odunze. Now, Giants fans, it kind of sucks that Malik could possibly go a pick in front of you, which I could see a possible trade from the Giants going up to 6 to 5 to snag him. or even moving up in the top 3 to get a quarterback. But since there's no trade, I got them taking Odunze. Phenomenal wide receiver out of Washington. Go up and grab it. Go on the field and play your best ball. That's who Odunze is. And I think he had a 72% contested catch rate.
That's unbelievable.
Highest in like the last 4 years.
Wow.
Unbelievable go up and grab it receiver. And I think that's exactly what the New York Giants need. Hopefully get Daniel Jones taking the extra step this year. Get him a real wideout. Make the Giants not regret the contract that they gave him.
Yeah, I think this is a good one. And like you said, maybe they go up into the top 3 to grab a quarterback, but I think that's less likely than people realize. I think Daniel Jones, with all the money they're pouring into him,
Yeah.
I think
he's try it out one more year.
Yeah, I think he didn't have a terrible year before he got hurt. So I mean, give it a proven year.
One of a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, he's not
People
the worst
forget
quarterback.
that. People are quick to turn. Everyone was loving. Any Giants fan was loving Daniel Jones.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of
he
weapons.
missed like basically the whole year last year, and people are like, "Oh, he sucks. He sucks." Like I know he wasn't playing good before injury, but it's just like, let the guy play at least one more full year, and then make your decision.
And he's a fantastic runner. I mean, if you give him some weapons, he can make some plays. I think Rome fits.
Didn't he trip though that one time? Did he trip
that
one time?
That was funny.
Put the video in. Put the video in. Make them all hurt.
Funny.
Make all
that
Giants fans hurt.
And it's only bittersweet for you, Hunter, because it was against the Eagles, but he torched your defense. But moving to the Titans with the 7th pick.
To the Titans.
We
I have them taking Joe Alt,
shit.
Offensive tackle out of Notre Dame, and I think it was Kean said it last episode on the pod that the Titans had like one of the worst offensive line in the league. So I mean,
32nd ranked offensive line in pass blocking efficiency and first in sacks allowed.
Yeah, and I think Joe Alt's best tackle, best offensive lineman in the draft. So that's my reasoning there.
He's a very balanced one of the most balanced offensive tackles I've seen. He's above average in almost every category. Name it. Pulling, pass block, run block. He's got an 80+ grade in everything. So very solid offensive tackle going to the Titans with a Hall of Fame name. So you never know.
Yeah, and I think Joe Alt, you develop him and you put some pieces around him, and the Titans could have well, anything's better than the line they have, but they'll definitely have a better line because of Joe Alt. But moving on to the Falcons, the 8th overall pick in the draft, we have Jared Verse, an edge rusher out of Florida State. I really like this guy. I mean, Florida State's defense was phenomenal last year, and Jared Verse was a big part of that. I think he fits Atlanta perfectly. They need some edge rushers, so they need some help on D, and I think he gets it done for them. Could argue Dallas Turner, and I think that's another great pick. It's really another toss-up here, but 2 great edge rushers, and I think Jared Verse is just a little bit better than Dallas Turner, and I think he fits the Falcons scheme a little bit better.
And I agree. Jared Verse, the way he plays, he reminds me a lot of Khalil Mack. He is just so strong at the point. His bull rushes are insane. He is malicious with his hands. Jared Verse, I think, is the best edge rusher possible in this draft.
Pause? Malicious with his hands. What do you mean by that?
Malicious with it.
What do you mean by
Watch
that?
the tape. Watch the tape. There are plays where he blows up 2 offensive linemen in one play.
Yeah, I really like Jared Verse. I watched some tape on him.
Who are they playing? I think they were playing LSU, and he absolutely blew up 2 linemen on the goal line to get the tackle for loss. Just unbelievable power from this kid, and unbelievable prospect. I think he fits Atlanta perfect.
Yeah. I think so too, honestly. I like Jared Verse a lot.
Yeah.
So the next pick, Chicago. I got back-to-back edge. Again, I'm following you, Kean. I'm taking Dallas Turner from Alabama. Complete opposite from Jared Verse. Jared Verse is more of a stronger dude, bull rush type dude. Get all up in your face. Maybe spit in it. Pause.
Pause? What are you talking about?
Bro's on one tonight.
Holy shit.
Dallas Turner will run by you in a matter of 2. He will turn the best offensive tackle into a turntable.
Yeah, he's quick.
With just the flip of his hips.
No.
I can't.
Cut off. Get Hunter off the podcast. Get him off. Get him off. He can't
we need you.
today.
We need you to stop.
Okay.
In
No,
all seriousness, though,
we're keeping this in too.
Dallas Turner as a Cowboys
everything.
fan, Dallas Turner reminds me a lot of Micah Parsons in that sense. He's very good. I like Dallas Turner.
Dallas Turner is very fast. He knows how to get to the backfield, and I think he will pair up perfectly with Montez Sweat, and he's exactly how Montez plays. That's why I think it's perfect. Get two Montezes on each side, basically.
Right.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I honestly agree with this. I think Dallas Turner's a great edge, and like you said, Hunter, he's complete opposite of Jared Verse, but honestly, it is a toss-up. He is a toss-up, though. I mean, there's two edges that would benefit both teams very well, and I think these two picks could probably go one or the other.
Yeah, I think you can swap those around, really. Either way. But moving on, we got my New York Jets, which personally I think they trade out a ton, but this is no trade, so I have them taking Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia, one of the best tight end prospects we've seen in probably almost ever in reality. You get that, Aaron Rodgers gets his safety valve, make that offense better because, every year offense plays like shit and the defense is top 10 in the league. So hopefully everyone's healthy this year and you add in Brock Bowers and that's a good offense right there.
Yeah, and if this happens, the Jets can have an insane offense. I mean, you guys just got Mike Williams to pair up with Garrett Wilson. You guys obviously have Breece Hall. I think Brock Bowers is just the sugar on top for what the Jets, for what could be a deep playoff run for the Jets.
Right. So my question to you, Tony, I'm torn here because I feel like the Jets should draft a lineman for the future, but with the recent signings and trades, I feel like they may not need to. I mean, what are your opinions?
But Tyron Smith is on a 1-year deal, and he's also older. I mean, we have a couple guys on the line who are older, so we could go and get a left tackle at 10, or even, like I said, trade down, maybe get another pick in the second. Could even take Jatavion Sanders at some point. He's not a bad tight end either. But, yeah, I mean, they could definitely go out and get their left tackle of the future. Even if he doesn't start this year, just...
Yeah, sit behind a guy with some talent.
Have him there.
Learn.
Just in case anyone goes down, there you go. Bam, plug him in.
Right, and he gets the experience right there anyway. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I was just kind of wondering because, I love Brock Bowers. I think he's going to be a fantastic tight end. And I think he's got tons of potential and he's league ready, absolutely. But the Jets' offensive line has raised some questions in the past couple of years, and they've gotten help.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, they did a good job at rebuilding it. So, I mean, it's just a wait and see, I guess. We'll see what they do draft night.
Right, yeah. And we got, the draft in less than a month now. It's 24, 23 days till the draft. So we're getting close. But I like Brock Bowers. But moving to the 11th pick, since this is no trades, there's high controversy around the 11th pick. Minnesota just trading for the 23rd pick in this first round. They might use those two picks to move up in the draft, maybe get a quarterback. But I am taking a quarterback here, Michael Penix Jr. I really like this guy. He went to a national championship, and although Washington didn't play as good as they have in games past, I think Michael Penix had a great game, and he's got a lot of potential. I think he's absolutely league ready. This draft is loaded with a lot of talent in the quarterback position, and I think Michael Penix is another one of those names that you really can't go wrong with. But Vikings get their quarterback for the future, and I think that's a phenomenal pick for the 11th pick, honestly.
Yeah, and I like Michael Penix. He's a complete air raid type of dude. We probably got the most film on him more than any other quarterback in this draft, just because how much he was asked to throw the ball. And pairing him up with Jettas, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson would be a phenomenal situation for him. They got a good offensive line too, so I can easily see it happening. And I would not mind it at all, even though he is older. Him and Bo Nix are older; they're seniors. And the only question about Michael Penix is his ability to stay healthy. Dude has had horrible injuries
Yeah.
throughout his whole career. So if the physical does good and it weighs out, then I don't see why you wouldn't pick him.
Yeah.
So
sure.
the Broncos, I got the Broncos taking quarterback Bo Nix from Oregon. Now, Bo Nix is somebody else who is older, but I like him in the sense where if the play breaks down, he can easily break the pocket, make a throw downfield, especially in like fuck, what's his name? Head coach?
For
Sean
Oregon?
Payton?
Sean Payton.
Oh,
Sean Payton's offense. Yeah, I'm buffering
sold the
right
bag. Sold the
now.
bag.
Yeah, I'm buffering.
Again.
Yeah, no, but in Sean Payton's offense, I think he'll really skyrocket. He'll be that guy for him.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, Sean
happy
Payton's
for the
had
Broncos.
Drew Brees for the better half of his career. So, I mean, he's used to having a quarterback who is able to manipulate the play if it doesn't work.
Yep.
So, I think we just get this generation's Bo Nix, or this generation's Drew Brees.
Bruh.
In that sense. And I like that he's matching up with
I don't
Sean
know
Payton.
about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all that, but
All right, you guys are Bo Nix haters, though. Like, there's no reason he can't be.
I mean, he certainly can be, but personally, I don't think he will be. I mean, and like, you know, we could come back to this in maybe like in 3 years from now, and he could be the best quarterback in the league. He could be up there with Patrick Mahomes, and I will gladly say that I was wrong, but I don't know.
I like Bo Nix, and I've liked Bo Nix since last year when he was playing at Oregon. I'm really high on Bo Nix. I think he's going to be better than Penix. I really do.
both completely different. But
Yeah.
See.
Moving on, I have at 13 the Raiders taking. I'm gonna botch this. Oluf,
Fashnu.
Shano,
Fashnu, whatever.
Fashanu?
Offensive
Fashanu?
tackle out of Penn State. I mean, they need an offensive tackle, and other than Joe Alt, this dude's probably the best. Yeah.
As a Penn State fan, this guy Olu just pancake season, just an absolute stud. He was protecting our quarterback, and
True Aller.
I don't even want to say his name, but making holes for Nick Singleton, and I really like this guy at Penn State. He was really good. Sad to see him go, but I'm glad to see that he's such a high pick because he deserves it. But yeah, so we're gonna move on to the 14th pick in the New Orleans Saints. This one is interesting because the Saints have a good history with drafting corners, but I really like Terrion Arnold out of Alabama, and I think he's going to be a stud. Alabama corners have a history of being pretty good, and the Saints have a good history of drafting good corners. There is trade rumors about Marshawn Lattimore, maybe sending him away for a package deal, getting some picks or another player. So this would only further exclaim that point in this pick that they need a corner more than ever. But I like the way this guy plays, and I think he fits well to the Saints.
agreed. Terrion Arnold's just a physical specimen. He's one of those guys that could be all over the field all at once. So I really don't doubt that the Saints could take him, and I think he could be very good for him if they do draft him.
Yeah, for sure. I like him a lot, and that's why I have him going to the Saints, because I feel like he definitely could succeed there.
Now, I feel like I've been following you this whole draft because with this next
Yeah,
pick with
for
the
real.
Colts, I'm drafting another corner, and I'm taking Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback out of Toledo. And I think overall, Quinyon might be the best corner overall out of this whole draft. He is big, he's physical. Don't make no jokes. He's big and he's physical, and he's fast.
Pause
He
for
could
the fourth
No.
time.
Oh, no.
No. Quinyon Mitchell is overall the best prospect. He could be all over the field. He's really sticky when it comes to man-to-man. The only thing you have to worry about Quinyon is if he gets too handsy, they will draw the penalty flag and they will be brought back for 15 or more yards. Because it very much could happen. He's been doing it, but very sticky when it comes to coverage.
Tony, stop.
Now he's dragging it. Now he's dragging it.
Yeah,
No,
now he's dragging it.
I'm really not. I'm really not.
We're
Dude
halfway
just
through
needs to
this, and he
upgrade his
can't even.
vocabulary.
Oh my god, bro, you need help.
Anyways,
You need
moving
help.
on. No, I do not. Hunter needs to, come up with a better vocabulary of words here. Anyway, moving on. The Seattle Seahawks. Another name I might botch. Taliese Fuaga, offensive tackle out of Oregon State. Another team needs an offensive tackle. I really like him, and I think that's where they go.
Yeah, I think they go offensive line too.
That's all you have to say. Just do you think that's where they're gonna go?
That's all I gotta say. I'm not saying he's
Hunter, you're an
getting
alignment
sticky
expert.
with
Get
it.
in here. Get in here.
His hands are malicious. Big and physical. No, yeah,
he's
they need
sticky.
an offensive tackle. You already got Olu and all off the board. I think this is the next best guy that you can go to.
Hunter, you're our offensive lineman.
Yeah, you are our
insider
offensive line
here.
expert. So why don't you give us some insight?
Well, Taliese Fuaga has a
Taliese
very
Fuaga, yeah.
strong base. Does not tend to turn his hips to fast edge rushers. He's very good when it comes to taking on the speed rushers. Guys like Joey Bosa, guys like Parsons, people like that, Nick Bosa. He's not prone to giving up any room or lanes to the quarterback when it comes to speed guys like that. I think what you have to worry about Fuaga is getting back to base when it comes to getting bull rush, when it comes to cutting back inside, things like that. Overall, I think he's a very good run blocker too, very underrated, and that's why he drops to 16 with Seattle. Because guys like Joe Alt and Olu Fashanu are maulers where Taliese really isn't, but he makes up for that in other ways.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to the Jags at pick
analysis.
17. That's a fantastic analysis. Couldn't have said it better myself because I
Yeah, took
not
the words
very-
out of my mouth.
I'm not an offensive line guy, but that
Our
was
man Hunter is.
top 10 analysis. But moving on to the 17th pick in the Jags. Got another Penn State boy going off the board. I love this guy, Chop Robinson. He's absolutely an animal. He's an animal, and his pro comp was Micah Parsons. They went to the same college. They played together for a handful of years. They have a lot of experience. Their friends experience together, but I love this guy. Chop Robinson is an absolute animal. He makes getting around the outside of the line look like nothing. He's insanely fast, and he's insanely strong as well to pair that up with. I love this guy. I wish the Cowboys would get him, but I just don't think he falls that far. But the Jags, you can pair him up with Josh Allen on that brand new extension, and I think they'd have a beast of a defensive line.
I agree.
Yeah, I really like him. I
Now,
really
listen,
like Chop Robinson.
I know we're not supposed to ask, right? But does Chop know what Micah Parsons did in the Penn State locker room back in 2017?
He was probably doing the same thing, bro.
Just a genuine question. If so, like,
That's not a question for me, man. Do I look like Chop Robinson?
I heard you were there that day, actually.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
on a visit or
actually
something?
I'm Trace McSorley in the flesh. Yep, I played with Saquon Barkley.
Insert the Trace McSorley song.
Your favorite quarterback, they call me Trace McSorley.
No, I love Chop Robinson though. He's a fantastic player, and he was really, really fun to watch in Penn State. Like I said, pro comp Micah Parsons. He's basically Micah Parsons' fucking clone, and I think he's gonna come into the league and absolutely dominate, same way that Micah did, and same college, same style player, and I think they have the same result in the NFL.
now pick 18, Cincinnati Bengals. I got them taking a tackle. I got them taking Amarius Mims from Georgia. Absolute beast. Dude is huge. I think he's like 6'7", 340 like that, and it's not bad weight. The dude is jacked at 340, and it's hard to come by people like that. Amazing pass blocker that he uses his big stature and his large wingspan to really grasp the defensive lineman to the best of his ability. His punch is amazing.
Can we have a Hunter sus counter down? Like
I'm adding
can we
it
put
in,
that
bro.
somewhere like down,
Hunter is
down in the
on
bottom
one
right.
today.
There's
He
no
is
other
on
way
one.
to explain it. That's how you explain it.
I know, but it's just
Hunter is
really gonna
on
make
one
a sus
today,
counter,
bro.
and I bet
There
it's
is
already at
no
5.
way.
It gets down and dirty in the trenches, and I'm trying to explain that to the best of my ability.
I'm just
Stop.
speaking from experience.
No, yeah.
I'm speaking from experience. Yeah, exactly.
No, I've actually watched. I've watched film on this guy, and by film I mean I've watched Georgia absolutely decimate people this year, and I don't know. I like Georgia, and their offensive line was star-studded, so Amarius Mims was a big part of that as well. And I like this guy. I think the Bengals definitely need some help on the line, and if he falls here, that would be good for them.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on, pick 19, we have the Los Angeles Rams. Now I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but yet again, another name I'm probably gonna fucking botch. Lay two.
Latu.
Edge out of UCLA. I don't know. You want to know who he reminds me of? His name, the fucking dude from Mario Kart, or just Mario, I guess, who's like on the cloud with like the fishing pole and shit. I think his name's like Leaku, but this dude's name's Liatu. What? Anyways,
So the theme,
our draft
the theme of this
analysis.
episode is Tony butchering names and Hunter being sus.
Yeah, pretty much. As 3 dumbasses try to put together a mock draft.
Yeah, we should have known that this wouldn't end well.
You know, edge out of UCLA. Fucking Rams just lost Aaron Donald. You would think, impossible to replace that, to replace him, but they got to try. And I think this is who they go to try and do that. Even then, they could draft another edge, I think, as well. Maybe even, take this pick and trade back into the first round.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype behind this guy. He had a pretty dominant season at UCLA. He was a big reason why UCLA's defense was among the best in the Pac-10. So I think.
Hold me if I'm wrong. I think he got USC's right tackle legitimately fired. I think he was benched after the game with UCLA because he just absolutely killed him all game long. Pressured Caleb nonstop. I even think he had 2 sacks.
Yeah,
but literally benched a USC offensive lineman. So.
Yeah, he's a stud, and I think that would be a real gem to get this late in the first round, because I think there's a lot of teams who would like having him a lot earlier. But moving on, speaking of players that people thought would go a lot earlier, we got the Steelers at pick 20, taking Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. This guy is special, and not just because his name is Kool-Aid. This guy, a lot of talent. Like I said earlier, Alabama cornerbacks have some of the best track records in the pros, and I think this guy is going to be another example. The Steelers pair him up with Joey Porter, and I think they get a diamond in the rough here this late in the first round. I think a lot of teams would be happy to get this guy a lot earlier, and I think the Steelers, if he falls to this pick, would be all over it.
100%.
Taking it on to pick 21, the Miami Dolphins. I have them taking Johnny Newton, defensive tackle from Illinois. Honestly, not much from him. Very raw prospect.
There's another one. There is another one.
I am going to have a field day editing this video. I'm just letting you know right now.
No, okay. What's better? Very unfinished prospect. Okay, when
Oh my god.
Johnny Newton is a redshirt junior, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot about this guy.
I haven't seen a lot about him either.
I
He
can't lie, I have
redshirted
not
his
either.
freshman year, injury, and since then, he has 73 tackles and 5 sacks with 2 seasons starting at Illinois. So, I mean, good, yeah. Phenomenal, no. But at the same time, defensive tackles aren't really deep this year.
So you gotta take what you can get, basically.
You gotta take what you can get.
Hunter, we need you to stop, bro.
No, I'm trying.
I honestly,
You're
what do you
milking
say
it
this
at this
time?
point.
No, I'm not
What
even
did
trying to
he
milk
say?
it, dude. It's just, okay.
He's
All
milking
right.
it this time. He's milking it.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
moving
so
on to
now-
pick 22. Tony, you have
Uh,
Hunter's Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I have
You better
Hunter's
bless him up.
Philadelphia Eagles here. Here's a name I can say: Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson, with Kool-Aid gone, couple corners gone, and the Eagles really need a corner. I think this is the guy they kind of have to go with, especially with all those corners being off the board already. I mean, still, good corner out of Clemson, good school.
There is one left. There is one left. I'll get to him next pick. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get into it a little bit. Right.
All right, yeah. If you put on your input, this is your team.
I love Nate Wiggins. I like him. I like Terrion Arnold, and I like Quinyon because they all three play the same. Now I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to have that counter go up. But if you would want to rewind the tape and see what I said about those two, that's exactly what Nate Wiggins is, and he's very, very fast.
So would you be
So-
happy with that at 22?
I would be unbelievably happy with Nate Wiggins at 22.
But we gotta talk about the next guy, and I actually have him going 23 to the Vikings. So once again, another Vikings pick. They could trade this pick with the the 11th pick. Yes. They could package these two deals and move up. So this could be a completely different team taking this, but we gotta talk. If we're talking about corners, we gotta talk about Cooper DeJean. This man is unbelievably talented, and he plays different. Like Connor was trying to get at, he plays different than the rest of the people, or the rest of the corners in this draft. Just an unbelievably, I was about to say it, raw talent, but he's unbelievable, and I love Cooper DeJean. I think he would be, I personally, if I was making this whole mock draft myself, I would have Cooper DeJean going much higher, but I think arguably he's the best corner in this draft. I think so. Other than Terrion Arnold, I think talent-wise, the way he plays, I would have this guy over pretty much any of the other corners in this draft. And I think the Vikings get an unbelievable diamond in the rough here at pick 23. Unbelievable value for this guy.
I agree. And Cooper DeJean is probably, talk about not being afraid to tackle.
Oh yeah,
This dude is insane in the box. He's like, how do I say it? He's like having another linebacker out there, but in a corner's body. That's how Cooper DeJean plays, and it's at a high level. So I would not doubt if he went a lot earlier than the Vikings pick. Like you said, Kian, he could very much go a lot higher.
I think so.
I
he
think
will.
Minnesota would have a field day with him, even if he moved to safety, replacing Harrison Smith, who has been
Oh my
absolutely
god.
horrifying offenses for years. That's Cooper DeJean. That's who he is.
Yeah, very similar players. I like that comparison.
And no, it's not because he's white.
I didn't want to be the one who said it.
all right. Yeah, moving on. Take it away,
Moving on.
my Dallas Cowboys.
All right, I got your Dallas Cowboys taking Troy Fautanu, offensive tackle out of Washington. Now, how do you feel about that pick overall, Kian, at first? Because you're a Cowboys fan. I want to hear your...
First of all,
Your
I
insight.
think we need line help, so I don't mind this pick. But in all the mock drafts I've seen, basically all, they've had us taking Brian Thomas, and I don't know why. Like, I like, obviously, CD Lamb. He's a stud. I like Brandon Cooks. He's pretty good. He had a good year. We just... Did Michael Gallup... He didn't go anywhere yet, did he? He's still...
No,
Is he a free agent?
Yeah, he's a free agent, yeah.
So... Well, Brian Thomas Jr. would be cool. I think the obvious pick here is we need to rebuild this line. I mean, we had
Replace Tyron Smith.
Biotish and Tyron Smith go in free agency, and I like this pick. But I'll let you give your analysis here because I'm not really super familiar with this guy.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't even really have an analysis. I haven't watched much on this guy. I've seen a lot of mock drafts. I've seen a couple clips from a couple mock drafts, and he looks good. I mean, first rounder. Like, I don't really know much to say. I don't know much about this guy at all, honestly.
So basically, you're trying to sell our pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. He wants you guys to get worse, and he's hoping.
All right, so
Jerry
the Eagles are actually going to take
Bo next.
the Eagles are gonna take
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah. That's the only way it could get worse.
Yeah,
All of us we hate JJ McCarthy.
I don't hate
Yeah,
JJ McCarthy. I think he's got talent.
don't
I just
understand
don't
the
think
hype,
he's
though.
first round talent.
No.
He's definitely
too
a winner.
overhyped.
He's a winner.
He's a winner.
National
for sure.
championship winner, of course, but
Doesn't mean anything. Blake Corum carried.
Blake Corum's also a national championship winner who had twice the season that McCarthy had, and I think
Exactly.
he's not going first round, so why would McCarthy?
Exactly.
At 25, I have the Green Bay Packers taking Tyler Nubin. He's a safety out of Minnesota. And I mean, their offense, sure, maybe they could go wide receiver, but I just feel like they have a lot of young wide receivers on their team that can produce. And I think, who's their tight end? Luke Musgrave. He's decent. You know, I just think need to beef up the defense. And they got Jair, so corner's really kind of fine. I don't really know who the corner 2 is, but I think safety's the way to go. Tyler Nubin is the guy.
Well said. I like that. One pick down, 26. We got the Bucks making their first appearance in this draft. We got Jackson Powers Johnson, a phenomenal center out of Oregon. He's a real physical guy, and I think this is, with Jensen retiring, I think this is the pick that the Bucks have to go for. They need to keep the offensive line going, and I think this is just a pretty easy pick to make.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed. So moving on to the Cardinals, their second pick of this draft, getting it from Houston from the CJ Stroud trade last year. Or not CJ Stroud, Will Anderson trade last year. I have them taking another defensive tackle. I got them taking Byron Murphy II from Texas. Now, this guy is a very stout defensive tackle. He's 6'1", 308 pounds, a little on the shorter side. Very nasty in the middle. And in 2023, he won Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year with Texas. And he actually, one second, let me look at his stats. He played 358 snaps for Longhorns, and he recorded, this is 2022, so he recorded 22 tackles, 7 assists, 2 QB hits, 16 hurries, and 1 sack during the year. Now, as a junior in 2023, he played 13 games. He had 13 tackles, and he had 4 QB hits and 6 sacks on the year. And that sent him...
Nice step up there. Production.
Really nice step up.
Yeah.
And he, after that season, got him an invitation to the Reese's Senior Bowl. And he played really good in the Senior Bowl. And now, because before he was a second-round grade, and now after the Senior Bowl, they got him as a first-round grade. So that could be a home run hitter.
Yeah, well, a guy that kind of flies under the radar for sure.
Yeah, and I think
at 28.
Hang on.
Sorry. Go on.
Whoa.
Sorry. I'm sorry. No one's saying anything.
No.
Damn.
I was just gonna add that the Cards defense could use a guy like this.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
At 28, I have the Buffalo Bills, sadly, taking Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver LSU. I really, really like him. You know, Gabe Davis gone. They did sign Curtis Samuel, and with Brian Thomas still at the board at 28,
Man,
I think why not?
Don't sleep on Curtis Samuel though.
I don't mind.
He could be a
Curtis
dog.
Samuel.
He could be a dog. He hasn't had a quarterback with real I don't know. I want to offend Sam Howell lovers out here, but he hasn't had a great quarterback in years past. So I think Curtis Samuel could definitely be productive.
I mean, he definitely could, but I think Brian Thomas, you get your wide receiver too, a young wide receiver. Diggs is getting older, 30 years old now. So I mean, got to look into the future. Get Josh Allen another weapon, and Brian Thomas is that guy. Honestly,
He's an
I'm
athletic
really, really
freak.
high on him. Yeah.
He is a freak of nature.
He was just overshadowed by Malik Nabers so much last year. So I mean,
it's like
people really underestimate how
it's like the Jettas and Jamar situation. I feel
yeah, exactly.
It's another one of those just 1-2 punches for LSU, paired with a great quarterback and Jayden Daniels. And in years past, it was Joe Burrow, but just the three have had unbelievable careers thus far in the NFL, and I think the same is going to apply here.
Yeah, I agree on that.
But so we're gonna move down to the 29th pick. The Detroit Lions, coming off their best season in what, like 20-25 years. They went to the NFC Championship, unfortunately dropping that game to the 49ers, but they don't need a ton of help. But where they do need help, I think, is their secondary. And they're gonna go out and grab a guy like Kamari Lassiter from Georgia. He's another corner. Guy's got a lot of talent, and I think the Lions can only get better from here. So it's not that the Lions need this guy, but
I think the best talent available.
I think exactly. I think that if this guy is on the board, you're gonna draft him no matter what.
Doesn't hurt to shoot your shot.
No, for sure. And the Lions can only get better from this pick. So
yeah.
Down to number 30. I got the Baltimore Ravens taking Keon Coleman, wide receiver out of Boston College. I think Keon Coleman could be the perfect fit in Baltimore just because Zay Flowers is the exact opposite wide receiver that he is. He doesn't have good speed. He's really not a deep ball type of guy. But his yak ability, when he has the ball, oh my God, there's clips of him breaking 3 defenders in one play, going for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Me and Tony literally sat one night and just watched Keon Coleman highlights because I was gassing him up for Dynasty.
Yeah.
This is somebody you want to pick.
And
he is crazy.
It's
athletic.
unbelievable. Yeah.
And he can go up there and make some like circus catches too.
Absolutely. He stands at 6'3" and he's 213 pounds. You think he would be a little bit faster than what he is? He ran a 4.61 in the 40. Could be a little faster for his size.
He's a big guy.
But
yeah.
We'll let it go. You know, it's a thing you kind of let pass with the athleticism and hands.
Yeah.
And just ask Tony how many times he diced up Syracuse's defense. So.
We don't gotta talk about it. We're on the rise. We're on the come up. Watch out for Syracuse next year.
Hey man, I mean, Kyle McCord could be the answer.
Kyle McCord, oh shit, not really, but we're on the rise. Just know that new coach, a lot of new recruits.
Fair enough.
Top 25. 20
right.
through 25.
Second to last pick, Tone.
We got Darius Robinson going to the 49ers, edge out of Missouri. Fuck.
Low key, Tony has no idea who this guy is.
Honestly, I have no fucking clue who this guy is. I don't have a single goddamn clue. Darius Robinson, what I was meaning to say before I pulled a hunter and stared off into space. You know, the Niners could use some edge depth, especially with Bosa. I don't know, hit or miss with injuries.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they could use some depth. But yeah. Honestly, no idea really who this guy is. And this point in the draft, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I really did need some help. And
I'm not gonna lie, I think Tony's taking a shot in the dark because I think he forgot about Leonard Floyd and Yetur Gross-Matos both going to San Francisco to be defensive ends across from Nick Bosa. So I think bro's just high or drunk or whatever it is.
Honestly, though, Darius Robinson is a steal. I think this guy has a lot of talent.
While we're here, let me just give you some shit, okay? So he stands at 6'5". He's 285 pounds. very big for a defensive end. He ran a 4.95 40-yard dash. And 2023, he was first team All SEC. Led the team with 14 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, and only started in 12 games.
Yeah, it's a
See, good
those are
pick
great
from me,
numbers.
and I had no idea.
Those are great
Never
numbers.
mind. Tony, I'm sorry for the hate. You just hit a fucking lucky shot in the dark.
That's
Wow,
okay.
so very productive defensive end,
No,
especially in
this
the
guy's
SEC too.
And if the 49ers get their hands on him, that's just going to be another weapon that they add to that already star-studded defense. So, honestly, I don't mind the pick. The 49ers, well, they don't necessarily need edge help. This guy would be the guy to get if they did.
Yeah.
So, I like this pick. I think Darius Robinson is definitely pro-ready, and he's got a lot of talent and a lot of production, honestly, from Georgia or from Missouri. But into the last pick of the draft, the defending Super Bowl champs back-to-back, the Kansas City Chiefs are taking wide receiver Xavier Worthy out of Texas. This guy's a stud. It's already been kind of set out into the air that Patrick Mahomes likes this guy, Tyreek Hill 2.0, and I don't see a reason why they pass on having more help in the wide receiver room. With all the stuff that's going on with Rashee Rice right now, they don't know if he's going to be, ready for the season upcoming. They just got Marquise Brown, and Hollywood's a stud too.
I really like Hollywood. I think that he could be really good with Patty.
Yeah, I like Xavier Worthy. This guy, he ran the fastest 40 in NFL history, so there's what's not to like about him. He gives that Tyreek Hill-esque player. He could just burn corners, leave him right at the line of scrimmage, and he'll be gone for an 80-yard touchdown.
I think we're going to come back to this. I think Xavier Worthy is going to be what Jalen Hyatt was supposed to be.
We're going to have to come back to that discussion.
Yeah,
if Jalen Hyatt had a better situation, I think he could have really thrived.
Well, that's something we'll talk about.
You can throw almost any receiver that can catch the ball on the Chiefs, and they will be a stud. Just because of Patty. And that's not even glazing. That's just Patty really is that good.
Extreme glazing.
It's not really. I don't even really like Patty
Extreme.
like that.
You do this good at the sport, don't you? You sick fuck.
Glazing.
No. Okay, as your sus counter's at like 7 right now, okay?
Oh, his sus counter's at more than 7. I'm just gonna let you guys.
We might be hitting double digits.
I would absolutely. I would bet if I was a betting man, and I am. But if I was a better betting man, I would bet the Hunter sus counter. We're putting it right under his name too.
Yeah.
If you guys just look down, you'll see it. But anyways, 32nd pick, Xavier Worthy. I really like this guy. I think he's gonna really thrive in the Chiefs offense if they do decide to go this route, and they're gonna get Tyreek Hill back in another player in Xavier Worthy, and I think this is the direction they go. But anyways, that's our mock draft. As interesting as it was, Hunter's sus counter is probably at 3,000 by now, and Tony's mispronounced names is probably at the same number.
It's actually at 2. It was only okay. It was 3.
No, but in any event, we hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your comments, feedback in the comment section below, and let us know what you think of our picks. Let us know of any changes you would make to this draft, and leave a like, subscribe. We hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and we'll see you next week, 3:00 on Thursday for episode 4. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you